So, what we are going to be doing now is we are going to be going through every isekai and fantasy show that aired in 2021, and we are going to be ranking them. Why am I doing this? Because I watched a fuck ton of isekai and a fuck ton of fantasy in 2021, as I always do. I always watch a fuck ton of isekai and a fuck ton of fantasy. But unfortunately, I barely ever get to talk about them because they're never on like my top tier lists. They're rarely ever in my like top 20 list. So I just wanted to get a chance to basically talk about a lot of the shows that I watched last year that I didn't normally get the chance to talk about. So we're going to be ranking every one of them. I did get Alan to set this up. So if he's missed anything or if there's something that I don't recognize, then I apologize. We do have one tier that is no opinion. But how I basically categorize this is I know you guys see Arcane there. Let's stop that. This isn't just isekai, it's isekai / fantasy. Okay, and the reason I did this is because there are some fantasy shows that are not fucking hell. Sorry, my voice is giving out. Let me There are some isekai, there are some fantasy shows that basically feel like isekai. So I put a lot of fantasy shows in the same category as I do a lot of isekai shows, right? Because they're basically like the same homogeneous light novel adaptations. And so a lot of them I feel give off the same vibe and the same energy, even though some of them are technically not isekai. Some of these fantasy are indistinguishable some of these isekai fantasy. So this is a lot of the isekai fantasy that I ended up watching a little bit of. And then Arcane, because that's a fantasy, and it's fuck you, it's my tier list, and I just wanted to have a chance to talk about Arcane a bit more. We're gonna put that last. We're gonna put that last. Guys, I think one of these shows are playing Among Us with the rest of the isekai right now. Misinformation called the White House. But all right. So to properly explain how many shows I actually watched last year. So I'm not going to lie. I didn't watch every one of these shows last year. I only watched some of them. But for about 90% of these, I watched at least one episode. Why did I watch one episode? Well, because I had to watch every episode at least once. I had to watch every episode at least once when I was going through my seasonal review. So even if I didn't end up watching the full show, it was likely that I've had enough of an opinion to form my opinion let me say that again. I had enough of a taste of that isekai to form an opinion of whether I wanted to watch the entire isekai or not. Because I don't know about you guys, but to me, isekai is a genre that I don't end up watching all of it all of the time, you know? I only end up finishing an isekai season if it's really, really good and it does something really, really interesting, right? Some isekai have like this really one interesting idea or this one interesting quirk or gimmick, and it only takes like a few episodes to explore that one gimmick, and then it gets boring after that one gimmick is explored. So most of the time after watching a single episode, I kind of get a feel of what the entire show is going to be like. I know this is very similar to what Joey says about every anime he watches on his seasonal anime chart, but guys, I swear to God, I've watched enough isekai to know that a lot of it is formulaic. A lot of it is very, very formulaic, right? and I can predict with I would say I can predict with pretty high accuracy when something is going to be a generic isekai or when something has like a single interesting idea. and he only takes a few episodes to explore that, and then the rest of the isekai is just, you know, just goes back into generic isekai blandness. I've watched and read enough isekai. I've been burned enough. Let's go isekai man. Yes, today, just for today only, I am the isekai man. I'm taking that title. But another reason I wanted to make this is because I'm actually Jesus. Hold on. Let me have a banana quickly while I give my voice a little bit of a break from all that shouting from the anime awards. Oh, stream title? Oh yeah, I gotta change the stream title. Hold on, let me change it now. Here's some nice banana ASMR. Yeah, we're done. We've done the high octane stuff. We're just chilling out now. Ranking every isekai of 2021. Sure, I kind of underestimated how much shouting I would be doing during the anime awards. I didn't think I would get that salty for some of the awards. When's the Apex stream? I don't know. I'll actually have to ask Connor when the next Apex stream is, because he did watch Mushoku Tensai. I did promise that I was going to play Apex with Connor. So yeah, you heard it here first, guys. I am going to be doing. I promised I will stream Apex with Connor once, just to make him happy. Because he was a bro and he did watch Mushoku Tensai. 5555555. I see a Thai person in chat. I see a Thai person in chat. If chat, here's something to look out for. If you ever see 55555 in like a live stream or something, that's the Thai person. That's how to spot the Thai person. Why? Because in Thai, the number 5 is ha. So what happens when you say 55555? It's ha 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 ha. Get it? Get it? Pretty clever, right? So it's literally just Thai people going ha 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 ha. Great. Now I shouldn't have explained that, because now everyone's Thai. now I can't tell who the fellow Thai people in chat are. All right, let's get back to this tier list. Great. Now everyone's like an honorary Thai person. Come on, we need more honorary Thai people. I'll be as a Thai person, we'd be happy to accept you as an honorary Thai person. Damn, 5 Thai people are 5 head. Okay. Where was I in my explanation? All right, yeah. So to explain, I haven't watched every one of these shows. Some of these shows I've watched 4 episodes of. Some of these shows I've watched 1 episode of. Some of these shows I've watched 1 episode of and then gone on to read the manga, because a lot of the times, Isekai to me, Isekai anime is just a glorified manga recommendation. Isekai anime is just a glorified manga recommendation system, where there are some very mediocre anime adaptations, and I feel you lose nothing by reading the manga. But I mean, we're still here to judge the Isekai shows and the material that it's adapting. So that is why I'm not going to pretend. I'm saying this right now before anyone who like. Any full isekai fucking heads try to cancel me. I'm saying this right now. I haven't watched every isekai I'm about to judge, but I feel like I've watched enough isekai to make an educated judgment about a lot of them. And if I can't make an educated judgment about a lot of them, then they will go in the no opinion tier. And that's if I like didn't watch any episodes, I didn't read the manga, I didn't do anything about it. Wait, I can't. Arcane is an isekai. So I explained this earlier, but I did include some fantasy shows as well that aired, because a lot of fantasy gives off the same vibe as isekai. And then there are a few outliers like Sonny Boy, which is technically an isekai, but I wanted to include it anyway because that just gives me a chance to talk about Sonny Boy. And Arcane, which is technically a fantasy. And I don't think I've talked about Arcane enough yet. Do you? Do you think I've talked about Arcane enough? We haven't talked about Arcane enough. We can continue talking about Arcane. Fake isekais. Spot the fake isekais. Some isekai seems pretty sus to me. Okay, let me get all these out because I don't know how clearly you can see them, but hopefully in the YouTube video, Alan will put a nice big poster on the isekai I'm judging so people can see properly what I am judging. So Alan, I don't know why you put this in because I know Alan's a big Digimon fan. So we're not off to a great start, but his first isekai that he put in is Digimon Ghost Game. I'll be honest, I didn't even know that there was a Digimon show that came out in 2021. So this is not off to a great start, Alan. This is not off to a great start. We're in the no opinion tier because I don't even know if it counts as an isekai. Does it count as an isekai? Because I know some seasons of Digimon definitely count as an isekai, and some are set in the real world. So I don't know. I haven't watched this one. This isn't the traditional isekai I was thinking of. So that goes in the no opinion tier. Great. Off to a great fucking start. So the next one is this one. This one, if you can't see, this one is Drugstore in Another World. Now, I've watched around 3 episodes of this one, and I watched them, was it 2 or 3? I think, no, I've watched 2.5 episodes of this one, because I watched it in my seasonal review. I haven't read the manga, but, okay, here's the thing about isekai, right? I feel like isekai gets a bad rep. You're about to get a spoiler to a video I'm about to release, because isekai gets a bad rep for all isekai basically being the same, where I feel like 2021 was one of the strongest years of isekai and fantasy in a very long time for anime. And why is that? Because I feel like this year we got a very big variation of isekai and fantasy. Because before, if you had an isekai, it would be pretty easy to tell that this was just a power fantasy show with one bland main protagonist, and that was all the genre was. But now we have a wide range of genres within this own genre. Drugstore in Another World is not a power fantasy show at all. This is just a slice of life show. It's a slice of life show. Copium. Yes, this is me totally huffing that copium for isekai. But my point was that not all isekais are the same anymore. You can't just judge an isekai or a fantasy just because it's an isekai anymore. You actually have to watch it. Having said that, Drugstore in Another World was mid as fuck. For a slice of life, now I'm not a massive fan of slice of life, but you know, you watch slice of life for you watch slice of life for your niche, right? Sometimes you just want to watch some cute girls go fishing. Sometimes you just want to watch some cute girls drinking tea, whatever. There's some slice of life that I really like I really liked Eurocamp. Eurocamp was fucking amazing. So was Girls Last Tour. That was slice of life with a bit of existentialism. I fucking love that. Drugstore in Another World has such a specific niche, whereas you would watch this if you're the type of person who plays an MMO and then joins the alchemy guild and just gets really into the fucking crafting side of like the alchemy side of things in an MMO. I'm not that person, okay? So I'll be honest, I thought it was pretty fucking boring, okay? That's not what I do in MMOs. If you're into that type of shit, then by all means, watch Drugstore Another World. I should probably say it's about a guy who goes to another world and opens a drugstore. That one should have been pretty obvious. No, it doesn't even match that shit. See, that's what I thought. This one goes. I'm putting this one into C tier. What the fuck is this one? Good thing I have all the names right here. It's one thing I will say. It's so fucking hard to distinguish all of these isekais by just their posters alone. The fuck is this? I think I know I've seen this one. What? Wait a minute. Is this? Oh, it's Full Dive. Okay, it's Full Dive. Fuck! I remember this one. All right. I noticed there's no E or F tier. Can we add tiers? Okay, we can add a tier. If I need to make an E or F tier, we will add a tier. Having said that, I'm going to add a fucking tier. I'm going to add a tier right now. We're adding a tier right now, and we're putting Full Dive into it. Straight away, we are putting Full Dive into E tier. Okay, this was. Remember when I said that Isekai just a second ago was more wide and varied this season? Full Dive was not that show. That ain't it. That ain't it. Full Dive was pretty much the most generic Isekai starter, generic Isekai I've seen. You know, I watched 2 episodes of this and then I immediately fucking clicked off. If you guys want to debate me on this in chat, I dare you, sir. If you want to tell me it gets good later on, I'm gonna call bets. I'm gonna call fucking bets because, like, it was one of those, like, for me, I'm a guy who likes to give every isekai a chance if possible, right? I look for, like, the smallest thing to catch my interest. I look for the smallest fucking thing to catch my interest. This had literally nothing. Full Dive had literally nothing that caught my interest. It literally, I don't think it did a single thing new in the isekai genre, except for the fact, was this the one where the whole classroom got isekai'd? I'm gonna go on Annie chart quickly. Annie list, sorry. It's just a parody of SAO. Yeah, that's what I thought. Except, like, Full Dive. It's been so long since I've watched this that I can't remember. No, it's not the one where the whole classroom gets isekai. Okay, that was a different one. That was a different one. Yeah, it wasn't that. So yeah, it didn't even isekai a group. It just isekai'd one person. And it's I think the closest thing to a twist it had was that it's VR MMO RPG. And let me get rid of the other tabs I don't need. So yeah, that one is going in E tier. Honestly, it was pretty rubbish. That one's not the isekai that I would pick when trying to defend the defend the genre when trying to defend the genre this year. All right. So okay, now we're getting to shows I have a bit more to say about. So this one is what's the English name again for this one? It's How Not to Summon a Demon Lord, right? Yeah, so this one is How Not to Summon a Demon Lord Season 2. Now, I think Demon Lord is kind of like the high school DxD of isekai, okay? Like, you're watching it for like a very specific reason, and if you are watching it for that specific reason, then you're going to have a great time, right? I think if you go into High School DxD thinking that it is going to be like a great plot and you know like a fantastic series where it has a compelling narrative and all that kind of shit, then you're gonna have a bad time. But if you're watching High School DxD for the titty, you are going to be having a good time. Having said that, I thought How Not to Summon a Demon Lord Season 2 was a lot worse than Season 1. Season 1, at least like, okay, so in terms of how much it follows the standard formula, it does follow the formula almost to a T. He's overpowered. He has a harem of girls. One thing I can say about it is at least it doesn't try to pretend to be anything else. And like when it gives you fan service, when it gives you the overpoweredness, it goes full in. It goes full in, fucking balls deep. It doesn't try to apologize for what it is. You know, it doesn't try to do it. It doesn't try to pretend that it's something more than that. But I do think that Season 2 was weaker than Season 1. At least Season 1 at least tried to have some stakes and try to have a semblance of a plot. I think Season 2 was just Season 2 was way more of a step down from Season 1. I don't think we had any stakes or any fights that I cared about. It went from having some cool fights and great fan service to just having great fan service. So I think it's better than Drugstore though. It's better than Drugstore. Oh, it's better than Drugstore. You know what? I'm going to give it a B because it had a Pekora cameo. Guys, okay. The Pekora cameo. I completely fucking forgot about this. The Pekora cameo. She cameoed in How to Summon a Demon Lord Season 2. So obviously that pushes it up from a high C to a low B. Okay, it's B tier. It's B tier. S to A. All right, what is this one? LBX Girls? I have not even heard of this one. What the fuck is this one? LBX. Was this an Isekai? Oh, I guess this is. This totally was not on my radar. Has anyone actually heard of this one? Has anyone fucking heard of this one? I did not watch the first episode of this one. Okay, here's. I think I might have just thought this was Symphogear. And then I was just like, oh, another season of Symphogear. This just looks like Isekai Symphogear. So I might have subconsciously skipped this one in my seasonal review because I do not recognize this one at all. This one goes into the no opinion tier. Okay. Log Horizon Season 3. Okay, so here's my thing about Log Horizon. So I was actually pretty damn hyped for... I was pretty fucking damn hyped for Season 3 because I fucking love the first season of Log Horizon. The first season of Log Horizon was one of my favorite isekais of all time. I think it had some really, really unique ideas because I think at the time, if we're going by source material, Log Horizon was one of the first isekai to come out in terms of light novels. I think... Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that, but also quote me because I'm pretty sure it was one of the first isekai to be made. I thought Season 2 was a slight step down from Season 1. And Season 3 was around the same level as Season 2 for me. there wasn't anything majorly amazing about it. I will say, I've only watched the first 6 episodes of Log Horizon Season 3, right? And I've only watched the first 6 episodes, and there wasn't enough to grip me. Like, I'm going to finish it, obviously. I'm going to finish it. But the first 6 episodes that I watched was around the same level as Season 2. It was a bit slow, I'm not going to lie. It was a bit slow. Maybe I wasn't just in the mood to watch it. I'm really hoping that one day it actually reaches the same levels as Season 1 again. So for me, Season 3 is a high B tier. It's a high B tier. It's not A tier. Season 1 was like high A, low S. Season 1 is A tier. It's a B tier to me. Log Horizon Season 3 is a B tier. Alright. Next we have Meikyuu Black Company. Okay. Meikyuu Black Company. Now, I actually like this one. I didn't give this one too much attention in my seasonal review, because I remember I think I made one joke in this in my seasonal review, which was it's capitalism in another world, which it is. So if you haven't heard of Meikyuu Black Company, then it's about this guy who is really successful in the real world, and then he gets transported to a fantasy world, and he basically starts working for this company that basically treats his employees like slave labor. He is at the bottom of the corporate food chain, and the story that he goes through is just basically his arc of trying to go from rags to riches again. And obviously, a lot of fucking shit goes wrong in his journey to try to get as successful as he was in the old world. Now, okay, people keep commenting on different shows, so I'm gonna change the title quickly for newcomers. So that they know that I'm not logged in on here, sorry. So that they know that this is an Isekai and fantasy tier list. Quickly, let me just change that quickly. Ranking every Isekai fantasy. All right, that's all good. Should be changed. All right, where was that? Okay. So this is actually a pretty funny anime. It's Peasant Uprising, the anime. Okay. I think my only real problem with it is that I haven't read the source material, but the anime production did seem a little bit cheap. Like it didn't seem like it had the best anime production. But what I will say is that it was a pretty funny show. It was a pretty unique concept for an isekai as well. There wasn't any power fantasy here. This was more of a very clever satire of Japanese corporate lifestyle. So it was satiring Japanese corporate lifestyle and then putting that in an isekai world. And I thought that was a really clever twist on it. Yeah, animation was not good. Yeah, the animation was not good. So I think that this deserves a good A tier. I think this deserves an A tier. Like, I enjoyed it more than Log Horizon Season 3. I thought that I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it way more than I thought I would. It's a solid A tier for me. Next, we have Mushoku Tensei. Now, guys, where is this one to go? Where's this gonna go? Okay, obviously it's gonna go in the F tier, right? Guys, okay, come on. You know, do I really need to explain myself? Do I really need to explain myself? Okay, do I really need to explain myself? I will say that Mushoku Tensei, it seems like Adam's put both seasons on here. But season 2, like, I don't know if season 1 deserves to go in A tier and season 2 S tier, just because season 2 was absolutely fucking insane. Like season 1 was a bit too slow. Season 1 was a bit too not too slow, but it focused more on like world building and characters, where season 2 is where all the shit starts coming down. Season 2 is more like an S plus tier, but I would like to judge both seasons as one season, right? Because even though season 1 and season 2, I basically see them as the same show. I basically see them as the same show. Now, I've talked enough. I won't spend too long on this because God knows I've already talked way too fucking much about Mushoku Tensei on my previous streams and on my videos and just on pretty much anything. If you want my full opinion on why I think it's a great show, just watch literally any other time I've talked about Mushoku Tensei. Okay, I don't need to say more about it. What I will say, however, I wanted to comment quickly about the controversy regarding Mushoku Tensei, because I don't think I've ever really publicly talked about this too much, because here's the thing about Mushoku Tensei, which is like every time I mention Mushoku Tensei and it gets posted on like a public forum, the fucking comment section of that forum post or the discourse around Mushoku Tensei is so fucking toxic. It actually makes me lose brain cells. Okay, because here's the thing. Here's my full opinion on Mushoku Tensei. Okay, here's my full opinion. Okay, Rudy, I think he does some fucking fucked up shit. I know, right? Rudy, the stuff he does and tries to do with underage girls, I think that's bad. Is that a hot take? Is that guys, pedophilia bad? Guys, can grooming bad? Guys, that's the take, right, guys? like guys, come on, guys. Pedophilia, grooming bad. Guys, well done. That's the take. That's the take, guys. Okay. Of course, that side is fucking weird, and I can understand. Look, I can understand if it puts people off. You know, that was never my issue with the show, or that was never my issue with the discourse around the show. My discourse, my proper opinion is that there is some really weird things and fucked up things that the main character does that makes you uncomfortable and makes me uncomfortable. It does make me uncomfortable. But I'm someone who is able, you know, a lot of shows can have problematic stuff about the show, but you can still enjoy the show for the fictional story that it is, right? So if there are people who get put off by the stuff that Rudy does, I've never had a more understandable have a nice day moment in my life. Like if someone gets put off by that and they don't want to watch the show, I'm like, cool, understandable, have a nice day. I'm not going to blame you for that, because I'm not going to lie, it is creepy and it's going to put a lot of people off, and I'm just like, cool, I completely understand. I think it's an amazing show. I think that there are a lot of amazing things about this show that is not just that one problematic and one really weird thing, but I can understand if that's enough to put you off from really getting into the show. And you know, I know a lot of people can't really get into a show unless they can like identify with the main character. I'm not that kind of person. I really like seeing Rudy become a better person and seeing the journey that he takes. But I know a lot of people can't get into a show unless they can project themselves on the main character. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. What I have an issue with is whenever I say I really like Mushoku Tensei, and I had a bunch of comment about this on like my best of anime 2020, on basically any discussion about my best of anime 2020, where, you know, it was revealed that Mushoku Tensei was my number one, is that like what I hate is that is people saying that if you like Mushoku Tensei, then you support all of these actions that Rudy does, and you support, you basically support the actions, the weirdness, and the bad things that Rudy does. They're basically calling you, well, if you like Mushoku Tensei, then you support grooming and pedophilia, and that's what this show does. It glorifies it, and like there is a debate. You know, you can debate whether, you know, whether this shit, you know, to me, I don't think it glorifies it, because to me, I was creeped out by it, okay? And to me, I think that if it really glorified it, then Rudy wouldn't become slightly less horny as the series goes on. Because you do see him trying to, you know, at the beginning, he's horny as fuck. And as the series goes on, he tries to not see women as fucking objects. You know, he tries to give them respect, as people do, you know. Do the anime scenes show a lot of uncomfortable things? Yes. But I think I think that part shows like Rudy's perspective, because at the end of the day, he is a main character, you know. And it makes me lose brain cells when people try to project onto me the fact that if I like this, then I support X, Y, and Z, right? Whereas I think it's a fictional world. It's a fictional story. Yes, there are aspects that can make you uncomfortable. Yes, there are aspects that you don't necessarily support. But that doesn't mean I can't enjoy the story for what it's trying to portray. You know, like it blows my mind, because you think about other shows, right? No one's watching fucking My Hero Academia and being like, oh, you like Bakugo? Well, that just means you support bullying, you know? Like fucking Vegeta tried to blow up a whole fucking planet, and people fucking love him. Why do they love him? Because he had a redemption arc. You know, did we just fucking forget that Vegeta literally tried to blow up the fucking Earth, and people were just like, what a guy. You know what? But he might have tried to blow up the Earth, but at least he's a good dad. At least he's tsundere. You know? Like why are people not trying to fucking cancel Goku for teaming up with Frieza? You know, Frieza is literally fucking Space Hitler. Where are the people trying to cancel him? Where are the fucking people trying to cancel him? You know? like yeah, Vegeta literally committed genocide. And what about Attack on Titan? You know, what about fucking Attack on Titan? These people are literally committing war crimes. You know, if you think that Eren is a good character, then do you support child murdering? Do you support massacre? You know what I mean? It just blows my fucking mind that all this shit gets looked over, right? But when it comes to this guy's horny, well, you support all the fucked up things that this guy thinks and does, and I'm just like that is where I draw the line, and that is where I'm just like, you know what? If you don't want to like Mushoku Tensei for the uncomfortable things that the main character does, that's understandable. If you want to project your own, what's the word I'm looking for? If you want to project your own agenda upon anyone who does enjoy this show, then that is where I draw the line, and that is where I say no, that is bullshit. I just like Mushoku Tensei because it's a good story. I acknowledge the fact that there are a lot of weird things and problematic aspects of the show, but I think that's fine. I think anyone who has a healthy degree of separation between real life and fantasy and a fantasy story can distinguish that. And, you know, that is just my take. And that is the last I'm going to talk about the Mushoku Tensei. That is the last I'm going to talk about the Mushoku Tensei controversy. You know, if you don't like Mushoku Tensei for those reasons, like I said, understandable. Have a nice day. I'm not going to judge you, but all I ask is that you don't judge me, or you don't judge anyone for enjoying the show. Okay? And that's it. All right. Next show. Man, I don't know how long I was talking. I don't know how long that rant was. That rant went on for a bit longer than I thought it was going to be. But I needed to get that off my chest because I was holding on to that for a while when I saw so many comments on my best of 2021 end of year anime video, and I was just like bigging the show up, and people were just like, yo, Gigok supports pedophilia. I'm just like, oh, for fuck's sake. All right, I'm just not gonna get into it. Okay. Villainess season 2. Villainess season 2. So I actually really fucking enjoyed Villainess season 1. This is nothing like your typical isekai at all, right? So season 1 was an easy A tier. Season 1 was an easy A tier, and I don't know how I can say this opinion without spoiling it for anyone who wants to watch. Okay, so I'll try to keep this as vague as possible. I remember when season 2 was announced, I was just like, why do we need a season 2? Okay, I felt like season 1 tied up all of the major plot points that it needed to tie up. And so I really enjoyed season 1. It was a very different isekai from your usual isekai formula. I mean, for one, it has a female protagonist, but for two, it had a female protagonist that was trying to like stop her own death because she got transported into a game that she had played, and she was the bad guy, and she had to try and find a way to find another path to stop her death. And I thought that was a really interesting plot point. Season 2, I feel way more like, I feel like it took that plot point, and then it made it more like, okay, I guess there is no way that I can say this without fully spoiling it. Like, it resolved its plot point, and then season 2 felt more like a fantasy slice of life romance without that hook that had me coming back. And so I very much forgot, and so I very much don't remember a lot of what happened in season 2. It turned into a holy shit. Thank you very much for the $200, Leifon. Make sure this money gets to the degenerate queen, ask her best girl. Thank you for being sir. Oh, thank you very much for the $200. Holy shit, you didn't need to do that. But yeah, I thought season 2 was still enjoyable, but I definitely didn't enjoy it for the same reasons as I enjoyed season 1. I didn't have that much of a hook, and for that reason, I didn't end up finishing season 2. Yeah, I'm about like 5 episodes in. It's way more of just a typical fantasy slice of life with a bit of romance in it. So, I mean, this went from a reverse harem isekai to just a reverse harem show. So I'm going to put this at B tier. Season 1 was easy A tier. I thought season 2 was a B tier. Re:Zero season 2. So I am surprised that more people have not been talking about Re:Zero season 2. Like, who here actually watched Re:Zero season 2? Because so many fucking people talked about Re:Zero when it was airing in season 1. I hardly saw anything about season 2. Yeah. Like, I know I didn't really talk about it either, but there wasn't really like, I didn't really feel like there was a discourse that I was contributing to because nobody was talking about it. I'm not going to spoil it. Don't worry. I'm not going to spoil it. I'm just going to talk about everything in a very broad sense of the term. I thought season 2 was great. I don't know if I enjoyed it more than season 1. I enjoyed it for different reasons, right? Season 2, to me, felt like watching Attack on Titan season 2 all over again. And let me just explain that, okay? Because Attack on Titan season 1 for me was just this really fast roller coaster ride where you had a lot of things happening, a lot of shocking moments. But at the end of season 1, I kind of just was left there feeling a little empty. I didn't know where the story was going. I just know that it was a fun ride. And to me, that was Re:Zero season 1. Re:Zero season 2 is a lot slower paced, right? It's like Subaru dies way less in season 2 than he does in season 1, and that actually becomes like part of the plot, that the focus was so much on, holy shit, $300. Thank you, Layfon, for $300. Now make sure this money goes to you. Your love for vanilla is not noticed enough. Thank you so fucking much, Layfon. Thank you so much. Where was I? So that I completely blanked out for a second. Oh yeah, season 2. To me, season 2, it put way more of a focus on the characters and the world building, and I really like that. The only thing I will say about season 2 is that it felt more like setup. It felt more like world building and character development, which isn't bad, but it just felt like there was less going on overall than in season 1. Whether that's better or worse, it's up for debate. But I feel like it sets the stage perfectly for future seasons. It makes me more excited for future seasons than for me watching season 2, right? Which is why I really, really fucking hope it gets more seasons. I will say there was one thing that season 2 did that completely surprised me. It made me like Amelia. Season 2 made me fucking like Amelia. I've shit on Amelia so fucking much, but it actually made her a character and not just some cheap waifu bait like she was in season 1. It blew my mind when I'm just like, damn, I kind of think Amelia's best girl. I kind of like, of course I was like, dude, I remember watching season 1, I was just like a kid and a best girl, not even close, not even fucking close. And then season 2 happened, I'm just like, guys, I think I'm turning into an Amelia sim. I've turned into everything that I fucking despised beforehand. I think I have actually turned into an Amelia sim, because I think her character development in season 2 is fucking fantastic. I think Subaru's development in season 2 was fucking fantastic. I would put this at the same level as Mushoku Tensei season 1. Like, so it's like a low S tier for me. It's like low S, and here's my reasoning for that. Like, season 2 was a bit too slow to really reach the upper echelons of how good of how good, you know, stories and especially Isekai can be. I think it really took its time, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. But I feel like season 2 was way more of a setup season than season 3 could possibly be, and it was less exciting than season 1. Although I do actually enjoy season 2 a bit more now that Attack on Titans happened, and I've seen what happened when a show just like slows down a bit and actually takes the time to focus on characters and world building more. I have faith. Attack on Titans given me faith that this could turn into something better. So for me, season 2 of ReZero is like a low S right now, because I think future seasons could be like S plus or SS tiers. So that is my opinion on ReZero. Season 3 is going to be a fun ride. I really, really fucking hope we get more seasons of ReZero. Like I hope to God, because I would be really disappointed if we just left it on that. Because one thing that I was disappointed is that season 2 just took place in one setting. I remember the slow realization of just, oh, we're not going to leave this place for this season, are we? we're going to stay here for the entire season, and we're going to fucking enjoy it, apparently. All right. Getting pretty thirsty. Oh, I have some green tea. Let me get some of that. Let me get some of that green tea going. Yo, that went down the wrong throat. All right. Next one. Realist Hero. Okay. I'm going to be honest. This is one where I haven't watched the anime adaptation, but I've read the manga, okay? And I've seen enough of the anime to know that it is a competent enough adaptation of the manga where it doesn't do anything amazingly, but it just adapts the source material. I really fucking like Realist Hero. Like I really, really like it. So to really give my cliff notes on what Realist Hero is about, it's about this guy gets transported to a fantasy world, and he has a kingdom that's basically failing, and he basically has to fix up the kingdom and make it a strong kingdom again. And he basically becomes king by some, I can't even remember how he becomes king, because it's like such a mute plot point. Because the interesting thing about it is how he goes about fixing the kingdom. So here's the thing, I really like it, because I remember watching this and I'm just like, oh, it's kingdom building, it's city building. That's basically just Slime all over again. I think it's different enough from Slime because one, Rimuru actually has powers and he actually has influence with how powerful he is as a slime. Okay, Realist Hero, he basically has to use his knowledge from our world, right? He's nothing. The only weapon he has that makes him overpowered is his knowledge of our world. And I think what's really interesting is that he uses psychological and philosophical learnings from our old world and applies it to the fantasy world to see what worked. That he was to see, like, he takes lessons we've learned from real world history and applies it to a medieval fantasy world, and that's how he ends up fixing all the problems. So there's a lot of references to Machiavellism. How the fuck do I pronounce this? I could never fucking pronounce this. Machiavelli. Fuck, that's a fucking tongue twister. Machiavelli. Machiavellianism. How the fuck do I pronounce this? Is it just Machiavelli, or is what's the name of I'm gonna fucking Google this. Alright, how do I pronounce that?
Machiavellianism.
Fuck! I'm gonna fucking pronounce Machiavellianism. Fuck. Machiavellianism. What the, Jesus fucking Christ.
Machiavellianism.
Machiavellianism. Fucking hell! Fuck you! What is wrong with me? How the fuck do I?
Machiavellianism.
Machiavellianism. I'm gonna say this quick. Machiavellianism. My God. My fucking God. Wait, how is it pronounced in Japanese? Machiavellianism. Yeah, I think I fucking pronounced it wrong even there. All right. I'm gonna get this right. Fuck. Chat. Shut up. Shut up, chat. Shut up. I'm gonna get this right.
Machiavellianism.
Okay. Machiavellianism. Okay, there we go. Okay. So back to Realist Hero. So there's a lot of he uses a lot of lessons from, for example, Machiavelli. He uses a lot of examples from Machiavelli and his philosophies and teachings. And also, like, eventually he uses, like, he even goes up to, like, lessons from the Cold War with, like, capitalism fighting communism and, like, what we learned from the political landscape from that kind of era. And I thought it was super fucking interesting. I thought just the concept of just applying lessons learned from real world history to a world that doesn't exist. I just thought that was like a really interesting idea, and they explore it in more of a depth than they do in Slime. and I think it I think it does more than what Slime does. I mean, Slime does something different, but I think this one's more focused. So that's why I'm gonna put it up as A tier, because there's one thing, right? It has some really interesting ideas, but it, like, a lot of it is still generic power fantasy stuff, right? Because there is, you know, obviously his overpoweredness is his knowledge, which I think is cooler than just simply being overpowered. But there is definitely a fucking harem here. Okay, there is a harem here for definite. Like, I don't know, can I say this? Is this gonna spoil? I'm gonna say it anyway because it's not a massive plot point. So I remember reading the manga, and I remember there was a point where you find out that polygamy is legal in this world, and I'm just like, of course it is. Of course it had to be Discord in some way, guys. Of course it had to appeal to the Discord chat in some way, right? Like, I couldn't think of a more game of writing move than making polygamy legal in this fucking in this fantasy world. So yeah, there is. So, you know, some people are very bored of the harem, but if you want some nice thought out politics and psychology being put in a fantasy world with your typical isekai harem, then watch Realist Hero. I very much enjoyed it, and I don't think enough people talk about it. Okay. You know what? I'm kind of like, we're kind of getting top heavy here. I thought there would be more in like the D and E tiers here, but I don't know if I'm being a bit too generous with some of these, but maybe like maybe there was just more isekai than more good isekai than I remember. Way too generous? Nah, I'm not generous. Come on, guys. Come on. Generous with the isekai genre, please. Come on. So next we have Restaurant in Another World. Now, I think this one's pretty simple in its appeal. If you just want a nice, comfy show about people from other worlds just enjoying good food, then this is the show for you. I don't really have much to say about it. Sydney fucking loves Restaurant to Another World because she fucking loves food manga. She loves food manga. To me, it's not really my kind of show. It's not really my kind of isekai. It's not bad. It's not like a bad isekai, because it definitely has its appeal. It's just comfy. It's food. It's just not my kind of show. I don't really have much to say about it. Season 2, I watched an episode and it was exactly the same as season 1. It's a C tier. It's a C tier. Like, if I wanted something comfy while I was eating food and I just wanted some nice food porn, I'd watch it, but I don't really have that much interest in it. Like, to me, it might even be a D tier, but I don't feel comfortable putting it in D tier. You know what? I kind of want to put this in D tier as well, now that I think about it. I'll see what the D tier is. I'll see what the D tiers are. All right. Slime baby. All right. So, okay. So, Slime Season 2. So, I don't know how many of you guys watched Slime Season 1. But I thought, okay, so Slime is one of the few shows that I've read the manga and I've also watched the anime. And I think, especially in season 1 at least, that the manga was better. Okay, I feel like people thought Slime Season 1 was a good show. It was a good show, but not a great show. Especially because with how the manga was adapted, Slime Season 1 fucking sped through the source material like nobody's business. All right. So I thought it was like an okay adaptation to the manga, which I much prefer the manga. Slime Season 2 turned a good show into a great show. I fucking loved that in Slime Season 2, the focus was less on how powerful Rimuru is, and it became more of this city building civilization type anime. I mean, it always had these elements in it, but I feel like season 2 really more leaned into that side of things, and I really, really enjoyed it for that. It didn't go down the philosophical route of, say, Realist Hero, but it made Rimuru actually like have some really tough decisions that he had to make. Because what I loved about season 2 is that I thought season 1 was just like, oh, Slime is this happy-go-lucky wholesome show. It's a wholesome show. And I thought it's just like, it's very simple, as it has a really simple appeal, and people watch it just to feel good and just to see a slime make friends with everyone in this fantasy world. That didn't fucking happen in season 2. That did not fucking happen in season 2. Rimuru has really tough decisions to make, and he makes some bad decisions, and he pays for it. He actually pays for some of the bad decisions that he makes. And I really liked that side of it. I really enjoyed that it went down a more darker route, and it explored more sides of Rimuru's character. It was just a step up in every way possible. And I highly recommend Slime Season 2 to everyone who watched Slime Season 1 and enjoyed it, but then had enough. Because I've met so many people who enjoyed Slime Season 1 and didn't want to watch Slime Season 2 because they thought they got everything out of the series. No, Slime Season 2 is a step up. It explores new facets. I will say, I don't think it's on the same level as Mushoku Tensei and ReZero Season 2. I will say that. You know what? I'm going to make a new row. All right? I'm going to make a new row, and this row is called Worst Fantasy. Wait, look. Worse than Mushoku Tensei. God, I can't fucking type. All right, because it is. Am I still salty about the Anime Awards? Yes. Okay. It is good. It is not in the same tier. It is not in the same tier. You are not there yet, Slime. You are not there yet. I really fucking enjoyed you, but you're not there standing with the greats, with the juggernauts just yet. Okay. All right. That is the one award that I would like to give to Slime Season 2. that is the one anime award I'm giving out this year in the Giguk Anime Awards. Slime Season 2. It wins the award for being worse than Mushoku Tensei. All right, Slime 300. You know what? I think after thinking about it, I'm going to move this one down, because Slime 300 is, to me, a high C tier. I'm going to say this right now. It's funny. It's funny because everyone saw the word Isekai, everyone saw the word slime, and they thought, oh my god, it's another slime Isekai. They are running out of ideas. And I'm pretty sure, like, even I made a joke about that. But I will say that it has absolutely zero in common with that time I got reincarnated as a slime. If anything, I think this is like closer to Dragon Maid Isekai. This is like closer to Dragon Maid than it is to slime. Right? It's a cute, comfy slice of life. It's nowhere near on the same level as Dragon Maid. It's actually pretty dead center. Right? It's pretty dead center. It gets a C tier for me. I don't really have. That's an insult to Dragon Maid? I don't think it's an insult to Dragon Maid. Dragon Maid is fucking amazing. I just like in terms of the overall plot and the overall feeling that it gives, then it is that's the most similar show I can think of when I think of Slime 300. I mean, you can say that it's just the literal reverse of Dragon Maid, because Dragon Maid is literally just a reverse isekai, because the dragon comes from a fantasy world to a real world. Yeah, exactly. Dragon Maid is also an isekai in its own way, isn't it? But yeah, this is definitely a C tier show. I don't think Dragon Maid is a C tier show. Okay, next we got Slime Diaries. I'll be honest, I didn't really feel this. I didn't really fucking feel this. I didn't really see the appeal of Slime Diaries. It was just like, I enjoyed Slime. I definitely fucking enjoyed Slime. I've just realized I did not put on my fucking streamer lights at all with the stream. This has all been natural light. Oh wait, now I'm fucking blown out. You know, is the camera not gonna adjust? Again, never mind. Maybe I don't. Okay, there we go. That was light mode for you. That was proper light mode for you. Hey, when did Connor come over? Guys, I'm just trying to fit in. You know, I'm trying to understand my best friend's culture for once. Anyway, back to Slime Diaries. Like, to me, like, I don't know who looked at Slime and was just like, I'm invested enough in these characters that I want a full spin-off. No, people enjoyed Slime. I enjoyed a lot of shows, but there are a lot of shows where I don't feel like they need a fucking spin-off of that show. Especially like one with like a full independent spin-off. Like, if this was in like, if Slime was in Isekai Quartet, I would prefer that. I would have preferred it was in like a proper, like a show where there was a bunch of Isekai characters. You actually thought it was good? I think there's nothing more that screams C tier than me. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I very much enjoyed Slime. I just don't think that Slime. I just wasn't interested in the Slime spin-off at all. All right. So I'm a spider. So what? So this one, I've also read the manga and I also watched the anime. And I remember the reason I read this manga was because I remember when the anime got announced, I saw the studio that was adapting this show. And I saw the studio that was adapting this show and I thought, fuck, this is the same studio that adapted Berserk 2016 and 17. I'm reading the manga right now before I see what kind of shit show is produced. Having said that, I will say that they definitely learned from their mistakes from Berserk 2016 and 17 because this is so much better than Berserk 2016 and 17. I don't know if they did like a fucking 5-head move and made me think the CG was bearable, because in my mind, I was subconsciously comparing this to Berserk 16 and 17. Like, the CG, I wouldn't say it's good, but like, I didn't notice it as much. I didn't notice it as much, right? Like, to me, I was just like, well, this is just good CG, because this is from the people that did Berserk, so obviously it's going to be good CG compared to that. And also, I do think that I do think that the anime adaptation was better, and I have one reason for that, and that is Aoi Yuki. My fucking god, I regret reading the manga because Aoi Yuki gave so much personality to the spider. She fucking brought her to life, and I could watch, like, if there was, I would have much preferred a fucking spin-off of the spider isekai than the slime isekai. I want to see Aoi Yuki as a spider just doing, like, I want a slice of life of her just like doing shit, right? I'd happily watch her fucking drink tea. I'd happily watch her go fishing or whatever. I'd happily watch her do all the shit that spiders don't do. You know, like, if I think she did such a great job because so much of the focus was on the one spider. Because the other thing that I would say was great about this isekai is that it is basically just one long training arc, right? It is basically just one long training arc. Like, a lot of people think when you look at isekai, you see an overpowered protagonist. The spider isekai was not overpowered, or she's not initially overpowered. It is basically just a 20 episode long training arc of her getting overpowered. And I actually liked seeing that progression for once. Fucking loved seeing that progression. And I don't know, like, it just was different enough where I had a good time with it. I think it's a very, very solid isekai. Aoyuki fucking solo carried it. I think it's a solid A tier. I think it's a solid A tier. She's still not OP at the end. I know she's not OP at the end. What I liked is that they never let her get comfortable. There's never a point where she levels up, she beats a character, she levels up, and then she fights another boss or another animal, and she's constantly fighting for her life. I think I think it's a solid A tier. I do think it's a solid A tier. And I really hope that we get a season 2 of it, because I think it was a very, very solid isekai that, you know, is different enough from your typical isekai formula. Yeah, right now it's like a low A tier for me. So you're saying you like watching us struggle? Don't make this weird. Don't fucking make this weird. Bruh, don't make this weird, man. Please. What I will say is that by far the most boring part, it's like, you know when you watch a monster movie and then it focuses on like the human characters? This was this show where they had a bunch of other human characters and I just did not give a shit about them at all. I just give me more Aoyuki. Just give me more of the spider. Like, I did not give a fucking shit about the human characters in this show. It's like when you watch a Godzilla film and then the film has to like pretend like you give a shit about the human characters in that film. No, I just want to see the fucking monsters. So this is, I believe, Spirit Chronicles. So this gets a C tier for my boy Sea Dog. Wait, this is the show he's in, right? This is the show he's in. I will be very embarrassed if this is not the show that he's in. So I'll be honest. Let me double check this. Let me double check that before I say anything more. Yeah, he's in it. All right, thank God. So I'll be honest. I wasn't that impressed with this isekai. This one was a very generic fantasy show. It was a very generic isekai. Fake friend. Look. In any other world, I would give this a D tier. I would give this a fucking D tier. But for my boy, just for my boy, I'm gonna put it up to C tier. C for Connor, or C Dog, or however you want, however you want to view it. Okay, I'm putting it a C just for him. But you know, only Connor can carry up so much. It's not gonna go up to fucking S tier. You know, Connor doesn't get that many wins in his life, unfortunately. It's a solid C for him. He bumps up to a C. A for ape? B for my boy. B for my banana. It's C tier. Come on, yeah. It's C tier. Although you're right. I could put a C, D for dog. D for dog. Now I'll put it at C tier. I'll put it at C tier. All right. This one is, I don't recognize this one. Oh, Standing on a Million Lives 2. So This one was pretty bad. I don't think this was good at all. I watched enough of the first season that it is not a good isekai. It is not a good isekai. I'll say that. There was one thing that I think was like it did one thing. It did one thing that piqued a minuscule of my curiosity. And that is, I appreciated the fact that they gave him a class that was not just like the generic OP classes. So to like properly explain the concept of this, so this is one where multiple people get isekai to this new world, and the hook is that the main character gets really shit classes compared to everyone else, and he has to be pretty creative when it comes to his classes, right? So for example, I remember one point he gets like the blacksmith class, which is like shit for combat. So he has to use this class to really make weapons that are OP for other characters to use. And I thought that was like a minuscule amount of interest. Having said that, it's like a D tier for me. It's a D tier, maybe even E tier. It's not as bad as Full Dive. It's not as... I'll be generous. I'll be generous and give it a D tier. That's very generous. If you're wondering the name, it is... I think I'm standing on 1 million lives. That is the name. All right. I need a piss quickly. I will be right back. I'll be right back, gamers. Be right back. I'm gonna mute the mic this time so you can't hear me piss, but I'll be right back. Alright gamers, I am back. Damn boy, you fast. Of course I am. Of course. Gotta get that piss out so I can get back to talking to you guys, right? That was such a loud piss. I know you're lying now. I know you are lying. Don't you fucking lie to me. Alright. So this next one, The Fruit of Evolution. This one was absolute shit. I watched one episode of this. It's another group isekai. I'll be honest, I don't even remember much about this. I remember like this is the one where the guy gets isekai'd with a bunch of girls in his classroom or something. It's F tier. I'm making Euro. There's nothing to even say about this. I think this is F tier. This ain't even good trash. It is just trash. Like it's like if anyone wants to tell me that this one gets better, I'm gonna call bullshit on that. I very much doubt it gets better. It is easy F tier. Let's see. We got, what is this one? This one was the reverse Isekai, right? Reverse hammer. The saint's magic power is omnipotent. Okay, so this one is actually a reverse isekai harem. So, like, I will say it was interesting because, like, at least it's different from a usual isekai, right? It's not the typical male power fantasy. It's a reverse isekai harem. You know, it's got more in similar with other reverse isekai harems, which I am drawing a blank on right now. More like fucking Villainess. You know, that's what I felt watching this show. It was okay. It was okay. I feel like I preferred Katarina over Saint's Magic. I feel like it was a tier above. I watched about 3 episodes in this, so I'm gonna put it at C tier. It's just, if you like reverse isekai harems, I'm not the biggest fan of them. Then you'll probably enjoy it. For me, Katarina was better. This was like a C tier. It was okay. It just didn't really catch my interest. Is it not even a reverse isekai harem? That's what I thought it was. I might have completely misunderstood from not a reverse isekai harem. Am I thinking of the wrong show? What is this show? Is my mind just melding right now? Is it not reverse isekai harem, or is it just like a? Is it just a? It's more like bookworm. Let me Google this quickly. I might be thinking of the wrong show. Okay, you're right. Yeah, so I think I just confused this with the wrong show. I just saw like a bunch of guys. All that copium from Mushoku finally hitting it. Yeah. I'm fucking living on pure copium right now. So yeah, apparently it's just a normal isekai romance. Having said that, I'll still put it at C tier. It's not going to change my rating because it didn't really grab my interest too much. I watched a few episodes. It seemed alright. Just didn't really grab my interest. Tsukimichi. So what is the full name of this? Tsukimichi Moonlight Fantasy. So I'll be honest. I remember watching the first episode of this, and I actually skipped it. I actually thought that this looked pretty generic, and then I went through like an isekai binge, and I'm like, I don't know why. Maybe I'll give this one a chance. This one was actually really fucking good. I was so fucking surprised. It's like the beginning, the first episode, it seems pretty generic with this one twist, and that the one twist is the fact that the goddess hates the dude. So he so the goddess like fucking puts him in the world and just puts him in like the worst possible place and doesn't really give him the time of day. Aqua? No, it is kind of like Aqua, except it's even more sassy Aqua. What I really liked about it is that it was self-aware, but that it didn't make the self-awareness a part of its own identity. I feel like it did enough to have like a pretty interesting story. Like the main character is powerful, but just because he's powerful doesn't necessarily mean that he can solve all of his issues. And he encounters a lot of interesting things like racism, discrimination, and all this stuff. It's pretty funny as well. It's not like vastly different from your typical isekai formula. I just think it's a solid enough show that it's just a solid show. It's a good show. It doesn't do anything vastly different, but what it does do different is distinct enough, and what it does do good makes it a very, very solid isekai show. So this goes, I'm gonna put this at A tier. I enjoyed it as much as Spider and everything else. I'm gonna put it at 8. If you just want a solid isekai show, then give this one a watch. Because I think this is worth your time. Next show we have the Assassin Isekai. What is the full name of this? I've forgotten the full name. This is, what's the fucking full name of this? I know it has like a fucking ridiculous name. World's Finest Assassin. Yeah, this is the one. And thank you very much for giving me the Japanese name. Okay, so the world's finest assassin gets reincarnated in another world as an aristocrat. So I actually really fucking enjoyed this one. Although I will say out of all of these, it had some really gamer moments, but it also had some really interesting moments as well. Because of course, you know, there were moments when I believe like he gets like a slave or a servant or something, right? And I'm just like, of course, there it is. Every isekai needs that fucking slave or something. But the parts that were like enjoyable were really enjoyable. Like, I like the fact that it took someone who was already overpowered in his previous world. So if you don't know what this isekai is about, it's about an assassin who was already like one of the top assassins in the real world, gets reincarnated as an aristocrat, in a fantasy world, and the goddess has basically given him a target to assassinate. And I thought that was a cool concept. I thought like it was a really cool concept to see someone who was actually skilled and overpowered in the old world and give him a mission to assassinate someone in a fantasy world. I thought it was really interesting to basically see how he breaks the system in the real world, and how he goes about breaking the systems presented in this fantasy world when you got stuff like magic and things like that as well. I just think it took a little bit too long to get going and get some of the action going, because it does start things off. It does start things off when he's a kid, and it builds things up. And I would have liked it if they just there weren't enough. I would have liked it if there was a bit more of him like figuring out the world and the systems. Then like there was this really weird thing with his fucking mother or something. Do you guys remember that? Where like his mother basically told him that she wishes that he could still suckle on her nipples. And I'm just like, what the fuck what is this? This is bruh. What come on guys, come on. This isn't mother's no breast. This isn't mother knows breast, okay? This isn't the fucking MILF isekai. I'm watching this guy try to become assassin, okay? I'm not watching this isekai to watch a fucking kid suckle on his mother's nipple again, okay? Like, where was this part in fucking John Wick? You know, there was a reason that this character arc wasn't in John Wick. And like another thing that I did like about it was I liked that they introduced this idea that just because he was given this mission to assassinate the hero of the world, that doesn't mean that he was the only person given this mission. So what I liked is that the goddess actually transported multiple people to this fantasy world. And you get to see some of the stories of some of the different people that have been transported to this fantasy world, that have been given the same mission and have completely fucking failed it. So I actually really liked that aspect of it as well. Like, I think the good parts were really interesting, but I think it was tied down by some of the bad points as well. If you didn't know, this was completely made by the guy who wrote Redo of Healer. Completely fucking 180 from his other works. But to me, this is a B tier in terms of isekai. It's a high B tier, but I don't think it's as it deserves to be in the A tier with some of these other ones. It's B tier. It's high B tier. There were enough things that put me off from it being an A tier. Like, this is like like the assassin isekai is like the literal definition of enjoyable trash, because it was just trashy fun. There was a lot of like trashy moments in it, but it was very much enjoyable trash. Wait, Spider is A? Fuck yes, Spider is A. Spider is A for Aoi Yuki. If it was just the manga for Spider, it would probably be B tier. But Aoi Yuki made Spider so fucking enjoyable for me that it was up in A tier. Next, we have I think this is Banished Hero. Yeah, so what is the full name of this? What is the full name? Banished Hero. God, I fucking love trying to remember all of these names. Banished from the hero's party, I decided to live a quiet life in the countryside. I don't know why there's a tie. I don't know why there's a Thai fucking translation right there, but okay, we'll go with it. Okay, so this isn't an isekai. This is just a fantasy, and I remember I actually confused this with an isekai when I first saw it, because you know some isekais and some fantasies are so indistinguishable that I just forget that some fantasies are not isekai. To me, I thought this was a better version of Drugstore in Other Worlds. I thought this had a more interesting concept where I liked that it was from like the hero's party who just wasn't strong enough to be part of the main party that was defeating the Demon Lord anymore. I liked it. The world is interesting. It just was a bit too slow for me. It was very, very slow for me. Like, guys, like I was just when I saw like the main duo, I was just like, can you guys just fuck already? Guys, can you just fuck? Just stop teasing my balls. Just fucking fuck already, please. Like It's a slice of life. I know it's a slice of life. It is a slice of life. But I'm not a massive fan of slice of life. If you're a slice of life fan, this would probably be B tier. Gun asking the real question. They did. Oh, I can't remember. I watched 4 or 5 episodes of this. I think I can't remember. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna give this a C. I'm sure if you like slice of life and romance, it would probably be B tier. To me, it's a C. It just didn't really catch my interest that much. Not really my kind of show. I'm not a massive fan of slice of life, and this one didn't do anything too different. It just had an interesting premise to me. Yep, C tier. God, we are filling up the C tier, aren't we? All right, combatants will be dispatched. So combatants will be dispatched. So this was the show that I actually got to get a little sneak preview of. I got to go to the studio that made this, and I saw the behind the scenes footage of that. If you want to check that out, then You can here's if it's on YouTube, here's the thumbnail. Here's the thumbnail of the video. I'll be honest, I think I would have enjoyed this more if this came before Konosuba, right? Because if you didn't know, this came from the same writer as Konosuba. And like it came from the same writer as Konosuba, but he actually wrote this before he wrote Konosuba, right? And I remember watching this and I remember reading the manga, and it felt like some of the same ideas that were in Konosuba, but just they weren't as well developed. Like the comedy and the character interactions and the character chemistry in general, there were shades of the same chemistry you see in Konosuba, but it just wasn't as well developed. And like I kind of got bored with it for that reason, because I was just like I was watching it. I remember thinking this could just be like, I'd rather be watching Konosuba right now. I'd much rather be watching Konosuba. And I mean, I can't really blame the guy because this came before Konosuba. So obviously the ideas he took from this work were better developed in Konosuba. But like this is like a low B for me. It might even be C. But I feel like I'll give it the benefit of the doubt and put it low B, because I think it deserves to be at least better than some of these other shows. But I think it's a low B. I think it's a low B for me. It's a low B. It could almost be C. It's almost a C tier for me. I'm seeing some of these other shows in C tier, and I'm like, it's better that these shows, not that much better, but it's a low B. Kid in the Last Dungeon Boonies. What was this? Suppose a kid from the Last Dungeon Boonies something. I don't remember the fucking name of this. So I think this one. Okay, here's the problem with shows like this, right? This was clearly made as a satire of like. This was clearly made as a satire of power fantasy anime, right? Because the concept of this is that you have a kid that basically grew up in a town that was next to like the final dungeon of this world. So you have a kid who grew up in the endgame area of this fantasy world, and he decides to move to the starter town. Now, in this endgame area, he's actually pretty weak. But compared to everyone in the starter town, he finds out that he's strong as fuck, right? So it's less about showing his overpowered protagonist, and it's more about making fun of overpowered protagonist. Having said that, I don't think it really did anything more than just like try to be meta. Because there are shows that are meta, but also have more of a substance behind them. Like say Konosuba. Konosuba, I think, pokes fun at a lot of the isekai tropes in the isekai genre, but then Konosuba has enough of a chemistry between the cast members that I feel like there's more to it. There's more to it than just that. And I feel like suppose the kid in the Last Dungeon moved to like the starter town. I feel like all of its jokes hang on the fact that it's making fun of power fantasy anime, and that just got boring after like 2 episodes. I didn't even think that the episodes that I did show was that funny in the first place. I'm gonna give it a D tier. It's a D tier for me. It's a fucking D tier. So yeah, I don't really have anything more to say about that. Redo of Healer. Okay. People are like S. People are like S. Come on, guys. Come on. Stop. Guys, stop being horny for a second. Stop. This ain't S tier. Come on, guys. Stop being horny for a second. All right. Are we talking S for sus here? Is this S for sus? Come on, guys. Let's think. Let's think with our minds for a second. We're here to think with our minds. Okay. Use this. Use this. Okay. Look. I don't know if this is going to be. This is one long list. Redo supremacy. It is one very long list. I don't know if fuck me. There is a lot of horny people in chat, aren't there? There's a lot of horny people in chat. Okay. Look, I'm going to make a new tier just for. I'm gonna make a fucking new tier just for this. Wait, did I just delete a tier? What the fuck did I do? I'm gonna make a new tier. All right, this belongs in the H tier. Okay, you know why? You know fucking why it belongs in the H tier. All right, get that S tier shit out of here. Okay, get that S tier shit out of here. Okay. I'm about to come in with a pretty hot take. I don't know if it's hot or cold or lukewarm. I actually think Redo was pretty fucking shit. Okay, and here's the reason. Okay, here's the fucking reason. All right, I know all you horny motherfuckers want to put it in S tier because it's a hentai. I'm horny, bruh. There are better hentai you can jack off to, bruh. You think I'd rather watch Redo over fucking rants? Over fucking rants? Like, please, guys. Over Isekai Harem Monogatari? Come on, guys. Come on. Really? You gonna tell me that you'd rather watch Redo over this? Over that? Look, I would prefer if actually Redo was like a full-on hentai, right? Because the sex scenes in Redo, I'm gonna say, they weren't that great. The sex scenes in Redo are a warm-up for actual hentai. You don't jack off to Redo, okay? You watch Redo to warm you up to watch real fucking hentai, okay? Please. And if we're going to judge Redo, if we are going to judge Redo for the plot, are you fucking kidding me? Are you actually fucking kidding me? No, this is the plot of Redo was just bad. It was just bad, okay? It was bad. It was a bad story with bad characters and a bad plot. Like, it wasn't even shocking bad. It was so bad that Twitter wasn't even offended. Okay, you know a show is a plot is just like so bad when even Twitter doesn't get offended because it's so bad. Okay, like for Twitter to be offended, there needs to be enough people actually trying to defend the substance behind the show. No one watching Redo was actually trying to defend the substance behind the plot here. We all know it was a shit plot, okay? So for me, Redo, I would rather you half the plot out of Redo. Let's forget. Let's actually acknowledge that we don't actually give a shit about the plot about Redo, and let's give an extra few minutes to the sex scenes and Redos, okay? If you did that, easy S tier. Easy S tier. But as it stands, Redo is a worse version than most hentai and is a worse plot than most fantasy anime. Wasn't expecting the plot. Wasn't expecting to talk this long. I had to get this off my chest, okay? I had to get this off my chest. Okay. Okay, here's what Redo is. Redo is foreplay the anime. Why is it foreplay the anime? Because it's foreplay for the hentai you're actually going to read or watch. Okay, that is Redo of a healer in a nutshell. Okay, you don't stop at the foreplay. Okay, as in the same way you're not going to stop at redo of healer. All right. And that is where I'm going to end it. Overflow best, yeah. Honestly, if we're gonna take those types of shows into consideration, Overflow is a way better show than Redo of Healer. Okay. I'm gonna say it. Sonny Boy. So this one is actually Sonny Boy is a bit of a curveball here. Because is it your traditional isekai? Nope. Is it an isekai? Fucking definitely. Okay. It is definitely an isekai. As you know, it was one of my favorite anime of the year. I think it was number 10. I still do not know where to place this show. Okay. Because I think I enjoyed it. But at the same time, I also am not sure what I watched. Right? I'm not 100% sure about what I watched. But I mean, like, it's one of those shows that I feel like I'm going to need to let sink in for a while. And so, like, I'm going to put it. I mean, it's one of my favorite shows, but I'm still going to put it at you know what? I'm going to put it as worse than Mushoku Tensei. Because it is worse than Mushoku Tensei. But I also don't know what tier to put it in. I don't know what tier to put it in. I didn't like it as Mushoku Tensei. That's all I know about this show. Okay. I think it's going to take a while. I think it's going to take a while for me to properly sink in about how much I like this show. It is definitely an isekai because they go to different worlds, and I'm not going to spoil some of the plot points that happen in it. But they definitely, without a doubt, go to different worlds. Having said that, it is something I'm still letting sink in. It is a very confusing show. It has very deep and philosophical ideas that still stick with me to this day. I'm not going to spoil it because I'm not even going to try to explain it because I don't have the confidence that I can even verbalize what this show is about. But I do think it's a show that if you're in the mood for something a bit more deep, a bit more philosophical, then you should give Sonny Boy a shot because it'll be one of those shows that will just stick with you, and there will be some scenes in it that will just like make you think far after the show's ended. So that's why it's going in the worse than Mushoku Tensei tier for me. Faraway Paladin. So this was a Shield Hero where Did I not name this show every Isekai Fantasy in 2021? Let me did I not name it that? Hold on. Did I not name it that? Because people, you did. Okay, I don't know what people are asking for shows that did not air in 2021. Okay. Faraway Paladin. I had such high hopes for this one. I had really high hopes for this one because I watched the first episode and I really liked the fact that it kind of was just like, it was very obvious that the writer was influenced by Mushoku Tensei because they really put the time in to actually develop the world and develop the characters. I think this is one show where I would have put it at A tier, but I don't think the anime adaptation was that good. I much preferred the manga. The manga is way better than the anime. I was very disappointed in especially like some of the fight scenes. Like the fight scenes, I think were not good at all in Faraway Paladin, and I think you'd have a better experience watching the manga. Not watching the manga. I think you'd have a better experience. You fine? Yeah, I'm fine. This just went down the wrong throat. Don't worry about it. I think this would have a... Sorry, what was I saying? I think you'd have a better time reading the manga than you would watching the anime. So this goes in B tier. If it was the manga, it would be A tier. If it was the manga, it would be A tier. Because I think the anime was a bit slow. I don't remember if it was that slow in the manga. Because with manga, I could just read at my own pace. But it definitely felt slow in the anime. I don't know if that was just me, but it definitely felt slow. So yeah, that's like, it's like a high B tier for me. It's a high B tier, just not enough to go in the A tier. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3. Wait a minute. This so I count this as this is just the second core, I think, of Bacarina. That just goes in the same tier. Okay, so we have 3 left. I'm gonna skip this one and go to this one. And this is no opinion because I didn't watch The World Ends With You, even though I think that's technically an isekai. I did not watch that, so that goes in the no opinion one. Let me see. This is the hidden dungeon only I can enter. This was pretty shit. This is pretty damn fucking shit from what I remember. I didn't watch more than 3 episodes because it was pretty damn boring. It's the only thing I remember about this show. The only thing I remember about this show was this guy made out with his... Was it his sister? Was it his sister or his childhood friend? I don't fucking remember. Man, fucking has like incest just taken over my mind that I just assume that everyone from someone's childhood is their sister. No, I remember. It's his friend. Okay, it's his friend. It's his friend. Okay. Ignore what I just said. Ignore that. Guys, it was always his childhood friend. I didn't mention incest at all. Shut the fuck up. Alan cut that out. So he makes out with his childhood friend. And I remember how he makes out with his childhood friend is this girl has a fucking migraine and he's just like, hey bruh, you know what? Bruh, what if we just fucking kiss and I'll get rid of your fucking migraine? And I'm just like, who would fucking fall for this? Who would fall for this? And the girl falls for it. Like you think this shit would work in real life? No, of course it wouldn't work in real life. Yeah, I thought that was like straight out of a hentai plot right there. That was like straight out of a hentai plot where I thought this shit only works in hentai. This is like hentai logic through and through. Like say that next time your girl has a migraine. Let's just fucking make out. That'll make things better, obviously. Aside from that, I don't remember anything else about the show. This is like, I don't even know. I'm gonna. This is like E tier, I guess. This is E tier. And then finally, we got Arcane, which I'm not biased about Arcane at all. Like, guys, is Arcane an anime? Is it an isekai? Is it a fantasy? I don't know. It is a fantasy. It is a fantasy. I just wanted to talk about Arcane because I haven't had a chance to talk about it since my video about it. Okay, and you guys, this is my list. Okay, this is my fucking list. Of course, you know it's fucking S tier. You know it's S tier. So the reason I wanted to put Arcane on this list was just so I can like gush about it a bit more, because I was actually going to make like a follow-up video on Arcane, but I didn't think I had enough to say about it to warrant its own video. So that's why we have a stream. That's why I have a stream now. That's why I have a stream when I can gush about it on a completely different channel. So you guys are gonna sit here and listen to me fucking gush about Arcane just one more time. So, like, what I wanted to say about it was I had this realization, because when I made my video about Arcane, it was just as the show finished airing, right? It was just as the show finished airing. It's been 0 days since someone's mentioned Arcane. I can fucking hear Joey's voice in my head right now. It's been 0 days. Yes, Joey, it is now 0 days once again. Okay. So I try not to let the hype really cloud my judgment, because I know recency bias is going to be a thing. So I knew I needed to wait like a short while for it to actually sink in, for me to actually like properly form my opinion on like Arcane is good, but I didn't know how good Arcane was. And I've watched it twice. I've watched it more than once now. I've let it sink in, and I think that I am now comfortable saying that I think it's a masterpiece. I'm saying that. I think Arcane Season 1 of League of Legends Arcane is a masterpiece. And it's taken me a while. Like, I don't want to like throw that word out cheaply, but I think Arcane deserves it, because I've tried to like really think about it, and there are so many things that this show does amazingly and better than anything else like I've ever seen. And I think what I wanted to make a video on was I wanted to make a video on the Echo versus Jinx fight, and how like I've rewatched that one fucking scene more times than I care to count, and it just gets better every fucking time I watch it. Like if there is one scene that I would say that sells Arcane, it is, I think that is actually the perfect scene. Like I think Jinx versus Echo is like the perfect scene in terms of animation, storytelling, just general coolness, and music. My fucking god, that is just like a god tier scene. And the reason I didn't make a video on it is because the video would just be me explaining the scene. But the problem is, the scene does such a good job at conveying what it needs to explain that I would just be doing disservice by explaining what the scene is already doing to the viewer. But I will give you a cliff notes. But I will give you a fucking cliff notes of what I wanted to say anyway. Because hey, this is my stream, and I get to gush, and I get to gush about it. Okay, so we all fucking know how badass the music is. I'm gonna put it on mute. I'm gonna put it on mute because we all know how badass the music is and how badass this fucking animation is. Okay, that really speaks for itself. And that really, and you know, that's what I noticed on my first viewing of this, which was how fucking cool the animation changes style. This is amazing, yada, yada, yada. What I find amazing about this show, about this one scene, is how it tells like almost shows these two characters' entire backstory and entire relationship without a single piece of dialogue being exchanged between them, and it just basically just shows it through subtle facial expression, right? Because it establishes that these two obviously were good friends as kids. These two played this game as a kid, and Echo uses that knowledge from his game to beat Jinx in this fight, right? And it establishes this through zero fucking dialogue. Like it does this through just like subtle facial expressions, and I think that's fucking insane. Like this shot where this shot where Echo like fucking exhales. Like there's so much going on in just these few seconds where you see the emotional journey he goes on, where he starts off just like being disappointed and then he proposes playing a game with Jinx, right? He proposes playing a game with Jinx, and you see Jinx going from surprise to just like accepting it, to just be like, all right, let's do this, right? It's you get so much out of just small, subtle character expressions. But like it conveys this so well without having me to explain it. Obviously, I'm explaining it now, and I'm fucking ruining the scene. But you garner that without them saying anything. And I think it's just like such a masterclass in storytelling that you're able to garner their entire relationship. Just through shit like this. Just through shit like this. Garn is coping hard right now. Yes, no, I'm not coping hard. It is. I just want to gush. Okay, this is my single favorite scene. This is my single favorite scene from 2021, and I fucking love this transition. I fucking also love this transition of I love this transition where they just transition to kids again, and you're like, okay, they're now playing a kids game. It's fucking amazing. It's fucking amazing. That's all I wanted to say. I'm not gonna go through a full-on fucking map breakdown of the scene. Okay, I'd literally be doing a play-by-play of the scene, which speaks for itself. It's fucking incredible. If you haven't watched Arcane, go watch Arcane. It is a masterpiece. I'm comfortable in saying that now. That's it. Like, okay, I'll say one more thing. Can you imagine if this scene was a fucking anime scene? Can you imagine if this scene was an anime scene? Okay. Echo would take his watch out, and then what would happen is a fucking narrator would come in and be like, and this is what happened when Echo and Jinx were kids. And they'd go to a fucking flashback. they'd go to a fucking flashback scene where a narrator just narrates a full play-by-play of their fucking relationship as kids. You know what I mean? That's what would happen if this was a fucking anime scene. Okay, so I'm just all right there. I'm done. I'm fucking done. Anyway, that was my full ranking of every isekai in 2021. So we every isekai and fantasy in 2021. So part of the reason I wanted to make this was because one, I was making a video about isekai, spoiler alert, in 2021, or just like the current state of isekai. I think that isekai last year, isekai and fantasy, was pretty fucking solid. I think I'm not going to spoil everything that I'm going to say, but what I will say is that when you think of isekai and you think of generic isekai and fantasy, a lot of people in a lot of years, you would have had like maybe 1 or 2 A tiers, and then everything was like C and D tier to me, right? But this year, there was some S tiers, there was some A tiers, there was a lot of B tiers. There is still a lot of C, D, and E tiers, but I feel like isekai is starting to like able to carve out its own niche, where enough of these shows have unique selling points that aren't just a cheap gimmick right now. Because I remember back in the day where you take where every isekai basically felt like the same show, where you take an isekai and it was like an overpowered protagonist, and you had like one gimmick, like it was an overpowered protagonist, except there was a mum or there was a smartphone or something else. But now you have more variation when it comes to the ideas presented with some of these isekai, that a lot of these shows in the upper echelon, a lot of these shows have very little in common with each other, aside from just them being in a fantasy world. Like that's pretty much the only common selling point. So I'm not sure if isekai is evolving, because I thought we were all bored of isekai like 3-4 years ago, but I don't know if isekai might have an actual resurgence. I don't know. I just wanted to say isekai. I know I'm the isekai trash man. I know, but guys, this isn't copium. I genuinely think that 2021 was a pretty good fucking year for isekai. I might even say it was like the best year of isekai to come out since the isekai boom. I mean, we had shows like ReZero and Mushoku Tensei and Slime all airing in the same year. And in any other year, those would be the best isekai of their year. Like, bar none. Anyway, that's it from me. I have been streaming for a very, very long time. I don't know why I've made it a habit of like streaming for 4 hours, at least 4 or 5 hours. I'm pretty fucking tired. My throat is very tired right now, especially after shouting a lot from reacting to the anime awards. But I'm going to leave it at that for now. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Now that I am basically COVID free, I'm going to be hoping to do more stream. I'm not going to say something as ridiculous as I plan to stream once a week, because that means that I am committed. And if I say I'm committed, then that's if I say I'm doing one stream a week, then that's too much commitment for me. That's too much commitment. Okay, Mama didn't raise no quitter, but I can't quit if I don't commit to anything in the first place. So what I'm going to say is I'm going to try and stream once a week. I'm going to try. So I'm probably going to stream next week at a certain time, probably the same time as this week. But if not, it might be another day or anything like that. Anyway, that has been it from me. That has been me ranking every isekai and fantasy of 2021 with a few twists here and there. If you're watching this on YouTube, hi YouTube. I stream on Twitch. If you enjoyed this, then please like and subscribe. I'm going to be doing more stream uploads like this. And I'm really fucking tired right now. I can't even do fucking YouTuber mode. I can't even do fucking YouTuber mode. Are you kidding me? Yeah, everyone say hi YouTube in the comments. Oh, everyone say hi YouTube. But yeah, if you don't know, I stream on twitch.tv/giguck. And if you want to watch the full unedited VOD of this, you can just click the link in the description. I do have a third channel for just all my VODs. Anyway, that's it from me for today. I've been Giguck, and I will see you all next time. But before we go on Twitch, let's find someone to raid. Who should we raid? Who's online today? Who's online right now? I'm not signed in. I'm not signed in on this one. Who should I raid? Is Mousy online? Is she sleeping? Because I know... Yeah, she's sleeping right now, or is she she's playing games? You know what? I'm going to raid Rob CD. Because I want to give obviously I'll raid Mouse one day if no one else is online. I want to give Rob CD. I mean, Mouse has got like fucking 11,000 viewers. I want to raid my boy Rob. So we've hung out. Hold on a second. So we have hung out once in real life, and I hope to hang out again with him. Because he's been helping Trash Taste with some IRL ideas that we have. I hope that's not spoiling anything, but I mean, Connor just has done some IRL streams, and Rob helped us give us the lowdown. So if you don't know, Rob CD is an IRL streamer in Japan, and who knows, we may be collabing with him in the future. I don't know yet, but he was a very cool dude, so I want to give him some love. So we're going to be raiding him. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the stream, guys. I know this has been quite a long stream, but I'm going to leave it there for now. So I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.